This is an enchanting story. This is the amazing story of Princess Rapunzel and her magical long hair, the wicked Mother Gothel, and the fearless bandit flying. Tangled from Disney Princess. Once upon a time, there was a magical golden flower that possessed the power to heal and to preserve one's youth. When the queen of a nearby kingdom fell gravely ill, the flower, uprooted by a palace guard, made the queen well, and she soon gave birth to a beautiful baby girl named Rapunzel. A vain and selfish woman named Mother Gothel discovered that the healing power of the flower had passed into the child's golden hair. One night, she scooped up the baby and then raised her in a soaring tower in a hidden valley. Although she was locked in a tower, Rapunzel grew up to be a bright and spirited girl. But there was one thing she longed for. "I want to see the floating lights," she said to Mother Gothel before her 18th birthday, pointing to her painting of the lights. "They appear every year on my birthday." Mother Gothel told Rapunzel that the outside world was full of dangers and thugs. Thugs like Flying Rider, a handsome young man who had stolen the royal crown and was chased by the captain of the guard and his horse Maximus. Flying evaded a rose, leaped among trees, and discovered Rapunzel's hidden tower. Using two arrows, he scaled the tower and climbed into the open window at the top. But Rapunzel hit him with a frying pan and captured him. She offered Flying a deal. If he took her to see the floating lights and returned her home safely, she would give him the crown back. Flying had no choice but to agree. When the moment came to leave the tower, Rapunzel was terrified. But when she reached one foot to the soft grass, then the other, she shouted as she rolled on the ground. "I can't believe I did this! I can't believe I did this! I can't believe I did this!" Back to the tower, Mother Gothel discovered the crown and Flying's wanted poster. And though she had captured Rapunzel and thought he had captured Rapunzel, she immediately went in search of them. Meanwhile, Flying and Rapunzel arrived in a tavern where someone held up Flying's poster. All the pub thugs began fighting in order to catch Flying. Suddenly, Maximus and the royal guards burst into the pub looking for Flying. They had brought along Flying's old accomplices, the Stabbington brothers. Hopefully, Flying and Rapunzel escaped thanks to a secret passageway. But the Stabbington brothers headed down the passageway themselves. Suddenly, a dam burst, filling the entire cavern with water. The Stabbingtons were washed away. Flying and Rapunzel were trapped in a small cave. The water quickly began to rise. Rapunzel began to sing, and her hair lit up the entire cave. Flying spotted a small hole in the bottom. They had found their escape route. While Rapunzel explained to Flying that her hair had a magic power, Mother Gothel met the Stabbington brothers by chance. She offered them revenge on Flying Rider, who stole the crown before they did. The Stabbington brothers liked the sound of that. That night, when Flying left to gather firewood, Mother Gothel appeared with the crown and challenged Rapunzel to give it back to the thief. She assured her He would leave once he had it. Rapunzel decided to hide the crown. The next morning, Flynn and Rapunzel arrived at the gates of the kingdom. As Rapunzel walked through the town, she saw a mosaic of the lost baby princess. She then visited shops and danced with Flynn. As evening approached, Flynn led Rapunzel to a boat, and as lanterns filled the sky, he handed her own lantern to send aloft. In return, Rapunzel gave Flynn the crown. Their romantic moment ended when Flynn spotted the stallions and brother watching them from the shore. He escaped to give them the royal crown, so that they stopped chasing him. But the brothers tied him to the helm of a boat and sent him to prison. Thinking Flynn had fled away, Rapunzel came back to the tower. But remembering the blazon on the mosaic of the baby princess, she compared it with the symbol she had been painting on her wall her entire life. She suddenly came to the realization that she was a lost princess. Rapunzel no longer believed Mother Gothel's lies, but before she could reach the window and leave, Mother Gothel overpowered her. Meanwhile, Flynn managed to escape thanks to Maximus, who finally befriended him, and together they galloped through the forest to rescue Rapunzel. While arriving to the tower, Flynn began to climb, but when he reached the top, Mother Gothel wounded him with a dagger and stabbed him. Rapunzel begged Mother Gothel to allow her to heal Flynn and promised she would stay forever in the tower. But Flynn, who wanted her to be free, cut off her hair. It instantly turned brown and lost its magic healing power. Mother Gothel cried. Within moments she grew old and turned to dust. "Without my long hair, how can I save you?" Rapunzel sobbed, and a golden tear fell upon Flynn's cheek. The tear, and then Flynn's entire body, began to glow. Flynn was healed. The two embraced and shared their first kiss. Flynn, Maximus, and Rapunzel headed straight to the palace. The king and queen rushed to hug Rapunzel. They were filled with joy. Their daughter had finally been returned to them. Soon, all the townspeople gathered for a grand celebration to welcome Rapunzel home, and once again, everyone released floating lanterns into the sky. Their light had guided their princess home at last.